Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to take a look at the Netherlands constructed Box of Doom. So the Box of Doom is an isolation cabinet made for guitar players and bass players in both a live situation and a studio situation. And it does exactly what it says on the tin. It isolates your guitar and bass sound from everything else going on in the environment. So in a live situation, obviously you can get rid of the sound of the cymbals, the drums, even the monitors being stupidly loud and going back into the mic. Get rid of your vocalist. You don't have to worry about him kicking over the mic and potentially ruining your guitar sound and your night. From the outside, the Box of Doom looks like a very stereotypical road case that you'd find in any touring band's backline. But once you open it up, you see this lovely, lush, constructed foam-lined interior case with a 1x12 speaker in it and enough room to mic up that 1x12 speaker. You can even take out the speakers and replace them with something else. So you literally just pull it out, pop out the speak-on jack, and then pop another one in, and it takes like 2 seconds. You can even order the spare baffles from Box of Doom themselves, and they'll make it to your specifications of whatever speaker you want to put in there. My particular model came with a Celestion Red Back, which is rated at 150 watts at 8 ohms, and this is perfect if you're one of those guys that loves your 100 watt, all-valve, stadium-ready heads. And then you don't have to worry about blowing up the speaker if you want to crank it to 10. From the outside, the Box of Doom has 4 different connectors. There is one Neutrik locking jack, which is used to connect the Box of Doom to your amplifier. There are also 3 other XLR connectors, which means that you can potentially mic the Box of Doom with 3 mics. That's if you really want to go down a rabbit hole that dark. If you take the speaker out of the Box of Doom, you'll notice that there is a grill at the bottom. And then if you turn over the ISO cab, you'll notice that there is also a grill on the outside of the bottom, but on the opposite side. Now what's going on here is there is a air chamber running through the bottom of the ISO cab between the foam and the outside of the case. That means it isn't completely isolated. So just how loud is this sound in the room when I've got the amp cranked really loud? Well, my guitar seems to be louder than the amp, so it's not really any louder than practice amp volume. Plus it feels really good sounding. With isolation cabs in the past, we've always tried to achieve this really big sound that we hear from a 4x12 sound. But it always ends up sounding boxy because we're trying to get this sound from such a small, tightly, isolated space. The purpose of this air channel is to allow more air to get in and to get out of the ISO cab, so you get a similar sort of feel as the size of a 4x12 cab in a much smaller space. It doesn't have the same feeling as an open back cab, because technically the speaker's isolated and the grill is particularly small. It's just allowing air to freely move in and out as the speaker requires it. This means that the actual sound coming from the speaker ends up being just that little bit bigger, a lot less boxy, and it sounds fucking great. In this demo, the sound is processed, it is EQ'd to fit in with the mix, but to my ears it sounds really, really great. My signal chain for this demo is my Minez DeVille Cat C model 7-string baritone with bare knuckle, nail bomb and cold sweat for the pickups. I'm running into 3 of my favorite pedals for 7-string, and that is a 14-Zool noise gate, the Reaper Pedals Pandemonium John Browne Signature Overdrive, and the Boss GE7, which I use to cut a little bit of the low end of the 7-string just to make it that little bit tighter. I'm running from this into the AMPETE 88S switcher, which I'm using to select what head and what cab combination I want to use. From this, I'm going into the Hughes & Kettner Grandmeister Deluxe 40 head, and I'm running that at about half volume, so it's pretty loud, 40 watts of all tube power, and that's going directly into the Box of Doom. I then mic'd this up with an SM57 and a Voodoo VR1 ribbon mic, and this is going from the Box of Doom directly into my Stam Audio 1073 preamps, which then goes into my Zoom UAC8 interface and into Steinberg Cubase. I think this product sounds really, really, really good. In a live situation, I can't imagine anything better if you're going to be using your all-valve guitar amps and you love the sound of them and you love the feel of them. It's literally refining it and making it better than if you mic'd up a 4x12 cab. This product is used by many huge bands. You have Gojira, which is how I found out about the product. Now, if you've seen Gojira live, it's just their guitar tone is absolutely crushing. And this is all down to the Box of Doom. It's got that isolation and that tightness. Jeff Loomis from Arch Enemy has just started playing the Box of Doom, as well as Biffy Clyro and many, many others. If you get the opportunity to try one out, then I wholeheartedly recommend that you do so, especially if you still love playing with an all-valve amp or just an amp in general over anything else that's available. For my next video, I have the AMPETE 88S switcher. Now, some of you would have seen this. Frederick Thorndahl at his new studio has 4 of these hooked up, so he can run 32 amps and 32 cabs, and he can change between all of them in any combination he wants. Now, if you do the math, because you can select 2 cabs at once as well, he has over 15,000 combinations that he can do with that setup. This unit is amazing if you have multiple amps and multiple cabs, that you can literally switch between all of them at the same time and you can hear them in context with the mic in front of the cab. A really perfect tool for the studio. Thank you very much for watching my YouTube channel. Keep an eye out for my new videos, and please subscribe if you haven't done so already. I love you guys. Thank you very much.